Previously in our story part 1 of Emma, the once lazy man who had started becoming a better man in his family, our story ended when Emma had gotten a new member in the house called Lucky. At the same time, the situation was becoming tougher for him to feed his family well because it was a season of winter. And so let's begin our next part of the story. Thank you so much for watching. Days turned into weeks and Lucky quickly became a part of their family. He was a playful puppy, always running around and making the children laugh. Emma loved watching them play, forgetting about their worries for a while. But as winter continued, food became scarcer. They had to ration their meals. Making sure the children had enough to eat, Emma worried about how they would manage. He felt the weight of responsibility on his shoulders again. One evening as they all sat around the dinner table, Stella looked at Emma seriously. "We need to think of a plan. We can't rely on the meal this winter. Is there something else we can do to earn some extra food?" Emma thought hard. "Maybe I could hunt a little. It's risky, but I know the woods well now. If I can catch some rabbits or squirrels, it might help us survive." Stella nodded, a glimmer of hope in her eyes. "That could work, Emma. Just be careful out there." The next morning, Emma set out early with Lucky by his side. He felt nervous but excited. He had never hunted before, but he was determined to provide for his family. As he walked through the snowy woods, Lucky sniffed around, chasing after snowflakes. Emma smiled at the sight. It felt good to have his new friend with him. He began to look for tracks in the snow, signs of rabbits or other animals. After a while, Emma spotted some rabbit tracks leading to a thicket. He crouched down, heart pounding, and carefully followed the tracks. Lucky stayed close, his nose to the ground, sniffing for a scent. Suddenly, Emma heard a rustling sound. He froze, peering through the branches. There, nibbling on some grass, was a small rabbit. Emma held his breath, trying to move as quickly as possible. With his heart racing, Emma took a deep breath, remembering the old stories about hunting he had heard. He knew he had to be patient. He crept forward slowly until he was so close enough. Just as he was about to grab the rabbit, Lucky barked excited, and the rabbit bolted away, disappearing into the woods. Emma felt a wave of disappointment wash over him. "Lucky, no," he sighed, sitting down in the snow. He patted Lucky's head, trying to understand how it would be to succeed. "We can't give up, right?" Lucky wagged his tail as if he understood. They spent the rest of the day searching but didn't catch anything. As the sun began to set, Emma knew he had to go home empty-handed. On the way home, Emma felt defeated. He had hoped to bring food to his family, but he was coming back with nothing. He worried about how Stella would react. When reaching home, Stella greeted him with a warm smile, but her eyes had concern. "Did you catch anything?" she asked, glancing at Lucky, who was still bouncing around. Emma shook his head, feeling his heart sink. "No, I didn't find anything today," he admitted. Stella nodded, not losing hope. "That's all right, Emma. We'll keep trying. Tomorrow is another day." Emma smiled weakly. "You are right, Stella. I won't give up." He took the children into bed and he hugged Lucky tightly before falling asleep. The next day, Emma woke up feeling determined. He had to try again. As he set out with Lucky, he decided to explore a different part of the woods. Maybe he would have better luck there. As they walked, Emma felt a bit more hopeful. He looked around at the beautiful winter scenery, the glistening snow, the tall trees, and the bright blue sky. It felt good to be outside, even if he was searching for food. After a while, Lucky suddenly started barking and running ahead. Emma felt curious about what had caught his attention. When he reached Lucky, he saw a small wooden box half buried in the snow. "What is this?" Emma wondered, kneeling down to dig it out. He opened the box and was shocked to find it filled with shiny coins and colorful trinkets. Emma couldn't believe his eyes. The box was like treasure. He looked around to see if anyone was watching, but the woods were quiet. He turned the box over in his hands, amazed. "Lucky, we found treasure," he exclaimed, feeling a wave of excitement. He thought about how this could change everything for his family. They could buy food and warm clothes for the winter. But then a thought crossed his mind. Was it right to keep something that didn't belong to him? He remembered his promise to work hard and provide for his family honestly. Emma took a deep breath. We need to find out where this came from. Emma decided to take the box back to the village and ask around. As he walked, his heart raced. He hoped someone would know where the treasure came from. When he reached the village, he approached the old man he had met weeks earlier. "Excuse me, sir," Emma said, holding the box. "I found this in the woods. Do you know who it belongs to?" The old man's eyes widened. "Oh, yes, that was a box that belonged to a traveler merchant. He lost it years ago when he passed through the village. Many thought it was gone forever. You are very lucky to have it found." Emma felt a mix of relief and pride. "I want to return it to him," he said. "It doesn't belong to me." The old man nodded, impressed. "That's a good choice, young man. Your honesty will reward in ways you can't imagine." The old man helped Emma to find out where the merchant lived. He was a few villages away, so Emma knew he would have to set out another journey. With Lucky by his side, Emma felt determined. They traveled all day, finally reaching the merchant's home just as the sun was setting. The merchant was surprised to see Emma standing at the door with the box. "Hello, what brings you here?" the merchant asked. Emma held the box, explaining how he found it in the woods. "I wanted to return this to you," he said. The merchant looked shocked. "I can't believe you found my treasure." He smiled, his eyes shining with gratitude. "Thank you so much for your honesty." The merchant reached into the box and took out some coins. "You have done a good deed today, and I want to give you a reward for it. Here, take this." He handed Emma a handful of coins. Emma hesitated. "No, sir, I can't take your money. I just wanted to return what's yours." The merchant smiled again. "But you deserve something for your kindness. With this you can buy food for your family. And remember, honesty is always the best path." Emma finally accepted the coins, feeling grateful and proud. "Thank you. I'll make sure I use it wisely for my family." As he left the merchant's home, he felt lighter, knowing he had done the right thing. Lucky backed happily beside him, and Emma couldn't help but smile. He had not only found treasure, but had also discovered the importance of honesty and kindness. The journey felt shorter, filled with excitement and hope. Emma thought about what he would buy for Stella and the children. Maybe some fresh bread, warm blankets, and a little treat to celebrate their hard work during the winter. When he arrived home, Stella and the children were waiting for him, their faces lightening up with joy. "You are back?" the children shouted, running to hug him. "I have something for you," Emma said. Pulling out the coins, "I met the merchant and returned his treasure. He rewarded me with this." Sarah's eyes widened in surprise. "Emma, you did the right thing. I'm so proud of you." With the coins, Emma and Stella went to the market the next day. They bought fresh bread and vegetables, and some sweet treats for the children. Emma felt proud as they walked through the market, knowing he had provided for his family. That evening they had a special feast. Emma, Stella, and the children sat around the table, laughing and sharing stories about their day. They enjoyed the delicious food, and Emma felt happiness fill the room. "Papa, this is the best dinner ever," one of the children exclaimed, their mouth full of bread. "Thank you, Emma," Stella said, her eyes shining. "You've changed so much. I knew you could do it." Emma beamed with pride. "I will always work hard for you and the kids. You are my everything." As winter continued, Emma kept working at the mill and hunting in the woods. He was determined to provide for his family through the cold months. Each day brought new challenges, but Emma faced them all with a brave heart. With Lucky by his side, he learned how to track animals better, and soon he was bringing home small catches to supplement their meal. The family grew stronger and happier together, no longer feeling the burden of winter. One morning as Emma woke up, he noticed that the sunlight seemed brighter. He opened the window and felt the warm breeze on his face. Spring was coming, and with it came the promise of new beginnings. As snow melted away, flowers began to bloom, and the village came alive with color. Emma felt inspired by the change around him. He knew that spring would bring new opportunities and hope. One day while working at the mill, the chief of the village approached him. "Emma, I have seen how hard you've been working and how you've changed. We need someone to help organize the spring festival this year. Would you like to take part?" Emma's eyes lit up. "Yes, I would love to help. Thank you for trusting me." As the days went by, Emma worked with the villagers to plan the festival. They decorated the village with flowers, made colorful banners, and prepared food to celebrate the arrival of spring. Emma felt a sense of belonging and pride. The day of festival arrived, and the villagers were filled with excitement. Families gathered, children played games, and delicious food filled the air with wonderful smells. Emma and Stella worked together to prepare their special dish, a stew made with fresh vegetables from the garden. As the sun set, the villagers gathered for the festivities. Emma stood next to Stella, watching their children dance and laugh with Lucky, happily wagging his tail nearby. He felt joy swell in his heart. When it came time for Emma to speak, he took a deep breath. "Thank you everyone for believing in me," he said, his voice filled with emotion. "This past winter taught me the value of hard work, honest and family. I promised always to work for those I love." The crowd cheered, and Stella hugged him tightly, tears of happiness in her eyes. Emma knew he had come a long way from the lazy man he once was. As the night went on, the villagers danced and celebrated, sharing stories of their hard work and dreams for the future. Emma felt grateful for the love and support of his family and friends. From that day on, Emma continued to work hard and never took his family for granted. He learned that being a provider meant not just working for his hands, but also putting his heart into everything he did. Lucky grew into a loyal companion, always by Emma's side, reminding him of the importance of kindness. Together they faced every challenge that came their way. And so, Emma, Stella, and their children lived happily in their village, embracing each day as a new adventure, knowing that with love and hard work, they could overcome everything. Thanks for reaching with me this far in our story of Emma, who finally broke the spirit of laziness and became a better person in his family and in the society. Emma's story reminds me of a saying that laziness is a secret ingredient that goes into failure, but it's only kept a secret from the person who fails. I do appreciate you once again for your support, and I also request anyone, if this is your first time on this channel, please subscribe, click the notification bell so that you may be notified about all the new stories that I upload. You can also share, like and comment. I love you all and see you in my next story.